What time is it now?
2:45. I used to have the SS doing us on 24 hours. You sure you didn't want me to bring you coffee?
Hi guys, it's your boujee friend Anyah M, and welcome to another episode of Anyah Uncensored. As you guys know, our 1 year anniversary is coming up, and I promise you guys an episode every single week, and your girl is on track, even though I'm literally like stressed out. But I'm making sure that I'm on track just for you guys. So for this week, we have a guest here. This is the second time on the podcast.
It's like my third time.
Really?
Yeah.
That's great. Oh, this is the first time in the video
My
version.
YouTube video.
Yeah, because we did an episode together when I was just doing audio alone. What did we talk about again?
We talked about like friends not supporting.
Yeah, oh yeah. We talked about unsupportive friends. So this is my friend Christina.
Hi guys.
So for this week's episode, or baddie drinks. I keep forgetting to call it or baddie drink instead of the other word.
Yeah, you love to curse so much. So my body drink is cranberry lychee from Fresh. You guys should try it out. It's actually really good. I didn't know they made all these flavors now, but it's good.
Yeah, I recommended it. Fresh, please sponsor me. And my own is aloe vera with pomegranate in there. So I take a sip together or whatever. Are you excited? Like, yo, it's so crazy that like when you with the last time you came on here, I wasn't doing YouTube and now I am. That's, like,
She's doing YouTube thanks to me. Because I've been telling her since before she started her podcast that she should do it on YouTube. And she finally listened to me and she's having a blast. Thanks to me.
It's been a great journey. Like, honestly, it's the whole not even just the YouTube part of the podcast, but like the whole podcast itself. Like, it's been like a really good journey for me.
Yeah, because it gives you a chance to like come online and like share your points of view and like share stuff that you're struggling with or things that you notice. And at the end of the day, you know, as much as there's always someone talking about it, there's someone who's willing to listen about the topic, because you know some people just don't have the confidence yet to talk up about certain stuff.
Yeah, that's so true.
Yeah,
because I feel like there's a lot of things that need to be said, like, you know, in society, and no one says it because they don't like the fact that, okay, like taboo stuff, no one wants to really talk about taboo stuff.
Yeah,
I don't like I mean, I can understand why, but I feel like I'm willing and down.
Somebody has to do it.
Yeah, exactly. Someone has to do it.
There's so much people that want to do it but don't do it. So you're doing it.
Yeah.
Take one for the team.
Yeah, taking one for the team. Hopefully that still gets me a job. Yo, you know, actually, wow, the fact that we didn't talk about the topic yet. But you know what I was wondering? I'm wondering if my podcast will ever affect
that
me
happens. There's this
job.
Jamaican YouTuber. I don't remember her name. But she lost her job because of her YouTube channel.
Really?
Yeah, I don't remember her name. Like, I'm sure you after. But I don't know if it's a video she posted or something that she tweeted, but her job fired her. Like, real life story. She's here in Jamaica.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
That is so crazy. Like, what's my podcast, like, causing me to get fired?
I mean, you have to get hired first.
That's also very true. That is also very, very true.
Yeah, but I mean, it depends on the company and that you work for. So there's some companies that love their employees being involved in social media. And, like, for other companies, they're not.
Yeah,
so
I get that.
It depends on the company that you work for.
I definitely understand that. For this week's episode, we'll be talking about how social media affects girls' confidence.
The influence it has over their life.
Yeah. So since you're my guest, you go first. Talk about like how you think. Like, what do you think about it?
I feel like Instagram came around like when we were in high school, or like slightly before that.
I think we were in high school.
We were in high school.
Like when we just came into high school.
Yeah, and Twitter's been around for how many, hasn't it?
Yeah, Twitter was around before IG, I think.
Yeah, I don't know. And then Snapchat came along, but you know, I feel like definitely, especially from like when we were younger, that social media plays such a big role in your life, and it controls so many aspects of your life without even realizing it. And like everything that the media feeds to you feel like you must have it or you must look at that. And I've realized something that I've realized from the other day is just that social media has like created body trends.
Yes.
They've created body trends. Because
Yes.
if you look back to a couple of years ago, this body size was in style. Now this body style. I just don't understand how a body style
has a style.
Like,
Exactly.
your body isn't like a piece of a top that you buy at Forever 21 or ripped jeans or high-waisted jeans. Like, your body is your body, and I feel like that affects so many, not even young girls, affects anybody of every age group.
Mm-hmm.
And like, especially, and I feel like a lot of social media influence play into that, because there's this girl that I follow from my university. She will show that like certain fitness pages, when you go on certain fitness pages, or when you go on any fitness page, you know, you go to get your workout routines and whatever. And she was talking about how a lot of these fitness gurus, they themselves has had plastic surgery and don't tell their followers that.
Exactly. That's what I don't.
A lot of them.
That's what I don't like. I feel like if you're going to have like a fitness page, I think you should also make it known that you had some form of work done.
Mm-hmm.
Because someone could be looking at you and saying, damn, her body's like so amazing, and it's just like, oh my gosh, I want that body too, so I'm going to do all the workouts that she does. But then we have to also remember that everyone's body is different, and then second of all, some girls are surgically enhanced.
Exactly. And
so it's like, how are you going to achieve that same exact look?
And then a lot of it comes down to genetics. So you can go to the gym and you can do the same exercise that they're doing 10 million times, and you're never going to look exactly like them. And I feel like a lot of, and like, this is not just like fitness gurus, but like influencers overall and social media overall, whether you have a large following or not, they feed you this, like, oh, if you do this, you're gonna get that. And that comes to a lot of sponsored posts as well.
Yeah, yo, like the you know, that specific tea that they have advertising, and all the social media influencers are literally taking that tea, and the tea company came out with like lollipops or something.
Yeah, to like suppress like your hunger or something.
Yeah,
like
and I was just like, I'm not saying it doesn't work. Like, as in, I've never said that it doesn't work, because I've actually taken took one of those, the famous detox teas, not one of theirs, but this other famous brand a lot of people in Jamaica are using. I took it and it like helped me a bit, but I wasn't taking it for that long to see like some effective results.
But my thing is with those people too is they don't use the product themselves.
That's also very true. That's very, very true.
A lot of influencers, no, I'm not saying that you shouldn't do stuff for money, because, you know, everyone's off for the money. But a lot of them don't use the products, and the way they, and I know for that same company that you're talking about, a lot of them write the captions for the people that they pay to promote. A lot of them be like, oh, you know, I'm getting back into shape and I've been using this, and a lot of them don't use it, and the followers go and buy it and expect the same results that the person on Instagram they went to, and it's just like, it doesn't work like that. You know, and a lot of people forget that, and I feel that itself leads to more confidence issues.
Exactly. And then I feel like companies will never think of it through that lens, because their whole aim is just to make money. Their aim is just to like, let me have this famous influencer talk about this product so I can get more people to buy. But they're not thinking about the fact that, hey, you know, this probably won't be the result for everybody, but they're just thinking about the monetary aspect of it. They're not thinking about the confidence issues that might come along with it. They're not thinking about any of those things.
Exactly.
And then even what you said about body trends, like body trends having a season, I don't understand it, and I'll never understand why having a certain body type is in trend. Cause remember like back in the day, like when IG first started, thick girls weren't a thing. No one was talking about being thick. Like majority of the IG, well, I don't even think they weren't like really IG girls then time, because they just started. Like IG had just started at the time, like around 2012, 2013. And you'd always see skinny girls. Like when I first joined IG, them time there, a big skinny girl you see on IG.
Yeah, because that was the trend, and as like times change, our seasons change, you see. Do you remember the time where thigh gaps were such a big thing?
Yes.
I remember like they were, I wouldn't say they were my friends, but there were certain people who I used to communicate with, and they would be going out of their way to make sure that they created the illusion that they had a thigh gap in their picture, and it was like you know, they were so consumed by having a thigh gap to the point where now that you look back at it, just like that wasn't healthy.
Exactly.
Because it was just like, if you had a thigh gap, okay, but it's just like, if you didn't have one, you didn't have one. But it was so much of a trend, like, you had to have one to be the in person at that time.
Yeah, and I just don't understand it.
And now it's just like, if you don't have like a small waist and thick thighs, then you're not it.
Exactly. So now the whole thigh gap situation, that's like no one even cares about thigh gaps anymore. Everybody wants voluptuous thighs. Everybody wants to be thick. Like it's a get out of style. Like,
and my thing is, if you want to change your body and achieve certain goals, I don't think there's anything wrong with that. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. But
if it's a personal change, yeah.
But I just hate that the media and companies and social media feed to somebody or feed to so many people that right now, 1 month away, in December 2020, if you want to be an it girl or if you want to be an in girl, your body must look like this. Your hair must look like this. You know, you have to dress a certain way. Because I've realized with Instagram, I only see certain people's pictures.
Exactly.
I only see certain people's pictures. And it's just like, sometimes I'll be like, don't I follow this person anymore? And Instagram just doesn't show you certain stuff anymore. So Instagram plays a big role. And
their algorithm is messed up. Like, I don't care what anybody says. Their algorithm is messed up. Especially now, because remember how you could see things based on like times? Yeah. So, like, let's say I post something at
you'd see it by chronological order.
Exactly. It was in chronological order. Now everything's all over the place. I don't like that. Like, I think their algorithm is messed up to the point where they're portraying a lot of, like, they're portraying only certain type of people over others, and I just don't understand it. Like, I can't fathom it. I can't fathom the fact that if you're not thick or if you're not voluptuous, then you're not considered to be the it girl or the in thing right now. Like, if you pick up yourself and say, hey, you know, I want to gain some, if it's like a personal preference where you say, hey, I want to gain some weight, I want to gain some more thighs, smaller waist, if that's your choice, I can say, okay, fine. Like, yeah, you're trying to make yourself feel better. If
it's your own personal goal, that's something you want to achieve to make yourself feel better, have more confidence, that's fine. But then it's different where you're changing your body, you're altering yourself to be socially accepted.
Yeah, definitely.
And you see, that's when it comes into play, because as soon as that trend goes out, you're going to want to change your body again, and at that point, it just doesn't become healthy for you.
You know what I also think is like a huge trend now? Now that Black people are now being celebrated more now because of like all the stuff that has been going on, I feel like a specific type of Black person is who the media wants us to see more. So like, okay, let's say in the TV shows, right? How many times have you seen in TV shows where they portray a 4C girl as a Black figure?
I feel like with TV shows, especially with some of them that just come out now, like, it's always the father figure or like the man in it can always be dark skinned and look any way he wants. But I feel like the female is always light skinned. Always. You rarely ever see, or if there is a dark skinned girl, she's never like one of the main characters. She's always somebody's best friend or somebody something. It's so rare for you to see a dark skinned person. Because you watch the show All American?
No.
Because you watch the show All American, almost all the females look exactly the same. You don't see any dark skinned girl on that show.
Like, okay, like even like, okay, Blackish I think is like the closest that comes to that, like having a full Black cast.
But you even think about that, they're not a Blackish. I think they do a mediocre job.
I feel that
they do a mediocre job. That's just like with some companies when they say they're diverse and they're just like, okay, if you have one Black person, one Asian person,
exactly,
one Black person,
that's
and a lot of universities do that themselves. They feel like have one of each diversity, that's it. A photo up, that's it. And I feel like that doesn't solve anything. Right? And even right now, for me, when I go to college, there's a lot of my classes that I walk into, it's either I'm the only female person in there or I'm the only Black person. Because even a class I had last semester was only me and 2 other Black people in there. And I was the only Black female. So as much as people talk about, diversity so far, or we've come so far with it. It's like,
I mean,
it's still a very, it's not like where it should be, you know?
Yeah, I definitely agree with that aspect of like, diversity now within society, it has surpassed itself, like, you know, from like probably like 20 years ago. Like the level of diversity has definitely shifted, but at the end of the day, it's like, yeah, you've shifted, but it's such a small little shift. Like, you literally jump 2 steps every 10 years. You jump 2 steps.
And I feel like a lot of people do a lot of cover up work. Like a lot of companies, like when you see them coming to like issues or celebrities or whatever you want to call them, all of them kind of have that same generic apology.
Yep.
Like, and nobody does anything to do about it, and nobody really truly holds anyone responsible. So it's just like, okay, that happens, everyone's mad for a week. Oh, I'm sorry, I'm going to be better, I'm going to improve myself, and then that's it.
I feel like cancel culture is very selective. I feel like cancel culture only cancels who they want to cancel. Like, I think it's Twitter has a lot to do with it. Like, someone can do something and like even recently, right? There has been like a lot of old tweets resurfacing of people saying, like, okay, I think it was like Meg
and JT.
Yeah, Meg and JT made a some old tweets of them saying something about black girls, even though they're black.
I get that JT.
Yeah, even though they're black, but at the end of the day, we have okay. Wow.
I think a lot of those stuff stem from black children never being taught to appreciate, especially girls never being taught to appreciate.
Yes, that is very true. And I want to use my words correctly, because I don't want to sound like you don't want to sound like you're being bitter, you want to bash anybody, because at the end of the day, as in, black women, we're all under the same category, regardless of whether you're a light-skinned black woman or you're a dark-skinned black woman or medium-skinned black woman. We're all under the same category of being black. The only thing is that I feel like some individuals who are probably in a better standing of being black. You get what I'm trying to say?
No, actually I don't. What do you mean a better standing of being black? What does that mean?
Like, okay, like, you know how there's always this whole competition between, you're black, but you have different types of blacks. Like, you have the light-skinned blacks and the dark-skinned blacks. Yeah. Like, I feel like light-skinned blacks are the ones who are portrayed more in the media, like, to the wider public. I feel like those, like, you being light-skinned, but a light-skinned black person is portrayed better.
So you're saying that, like, light-skinned people were more accepted than dark-skinned? Yeah. And I feel like that's very true, because, like...
But that's the thing. No one wants to hear about that, you know. The thing is, a lot of people will hear that statement and say, it sounds like you're bashing someone. But at the end of the day, it's not. It's just the truth. It's a fact of the matter that even though, yes, we fall in the same category as being black, light-skinned blacks have life different from, like, a dark-skinned black.
Yeah, and it's like, even you think about it, especially, like, I use TV because that's something everyone can relate to. Even back in the day, like, when I was in prep school, I remember that... Because I used to have a friend, every year she used to have a big Halloween party, for Halloween we want to dress up as somebody. And, some of my other friends from prep school, they had no issue picking who they wanted to dress up as, because it was so easy. But for me, it was just like, I only had like 1 or 2 options that I could pick from, because those are only people who looked like me on TV. Or when you went shopping, there are only so many people that looked like you. And like, aside from like your skin color, when you go into certain stores, especially for Jamaica a long time, they only cater to one body size.
That is also
and
very,
there were
very
a lot
true,
of boutiques, especially in high school, that if you were not a small or medium, that's it. There were certain boutiques in Jamaica who didn't even carry the size large.
Exactly. Or even like, okay, I'm now realizing, especially in Jamaica, boutiques are carrying extra large and 2XL, and I love it. I love to see it, because literally 10 years ago, when
we're in high school.
Yeah, exactly.
I remember one time when I went to fair, and I went to a boutique up in Manor Park. Was it Manor Park somewhere? And the lady was like, we only carry small and medium. And I just couldn't fathom with that, because I'm just like, what do you mean? Like, their entire store, it wasn't like, I wanted this top. And they didn't have large. It was just that
the entire store was just small and medium.
The entire store was small and medium. And I couldn't understand. I could never understand the logic of only carrying those two
sizes. Yeah.
And my thing, it wasn't that they just didn't carry that size. It was just that they made it seem a way that you'd ever ask for another size, right? And like say the average Jamaican girl or average Jamaican male, when they go inside the store and to say that they don't sell you size, you're gonna feel that way.
Exactly, because I mean, it's going to literally make you think that, hey, I'm too big.
It's going to make you think, oh, there's something wrong with you while no store wants. You know, so it's just like, and then my thing is, not everybody has the resources. Because at that time, I don't think shipping companies were such big of a thing. So it's just like, not everybody has the resources to be shopping online and paying to carry packages, or not everybody has the luxury of going on family vacations to buy your clothes. So the fact that there were so many stores that didn't allow Jamaican people to come and shop there, that was, to me, you're affecting someone's confidence right there.
Yeah. I'm honestly so happy that we have evolved, that a lot of boutiques now have evolved to including different body types. I love to see it.
But my thing with some of those stores is that, as much as there's my thing is only certain stores that cater to certain sizes. There's still a lot of stores in Jamaica.
That is also very true. That is also very, very true.
Because you still go into certain boutiques here, and they only carry a certain size. You know what I hate too, especially in Jamaica, it's acceptable for certain body sizes to wear certain clothes.
I hate
certain body sizes can't wear clothes.
Oh my god, I freaking hate.
It irritates. It irritates my soul.
Yeah, I totally understand that.
And my thing is, it's just my thing is that there are so many times when I was growing up and I was wearing shorts, everybody's just like, you can't wear that. That's not appropriate, right? But then I would have friends
who are skinny and they wear shorts and no one complains about.
Even skinny. They were smaller than me and they would wear it. And my thing is, I don't think people understand how much that's not okay. Because then you're teaching them that there's something wrong with their body, that that their body's inappropriate. I think
a lot of usually shorts, tight clothes, and like stuff like that. Like anything suck on, any form of dress suck on, pants suck on. I feel like persons always try to make it seem like bigger girls cannot wear it, but they normalize smaller girls wearing it. It's the same difference. The only thing is that they have thighs. That's literally the only difference. They have thighs.
And to me, when people do that, they're indirectly body shaming you. Because it's just like, oh, if you're going to be that body size, you can't expect to wear that in public.
Exactly.
And my thing is, instead of teaching the people who have an issue with it to mind their business, it's always back on the person wearing the clothes.
Exactly.
Whether it be the male or the female.
Exactly.
It's always onto them. It's always onto the person that's being bothered to correct it.
Yes.
I think that's so annoying. Like, people are given the body that they're given. Like, if somebody wants... My thing is, I've gone to certain places, right? And they'd be like, no shorts, no this and that. Right? And if a certain body size comes in wearing it, it's all of a sudden it's fine.
It's ridiculous. I feel like society right now, in terms of like body shaming, is ridiculous. What I also don't like is the fact that fashion trends have evolved over the years. Like, okay, you know what? Regardless of whatever controversial stuff Fashion Nova has been in, Fashion Nova has the most diverse. They have the most diverse. What do you call that? Clothing options.
But you know what I don't like about Fashion Nova, and I listen to lots of clothing lines, not just Fashion Nova, but lots of them, that they have to have a page separate for the bigger girls. And I think it was, I don't want to say the clothing brand.
I don't think it's, well, okay, yeah, you say first.
I don't want to say the clothing brand if I'm wrong, but there's a certain clothing company. It wasn't Fashion Nova, it was mainstream, but it's not super mainstream here in Jamaica. And some influencer basically was like saying to them, your page only has one body type. One body type, right? But yet so many, like they would sell other clothing sizes, but they only, if you went on their website, it was only one body type. If you went on their Instagram page, it was only one body type. And so their response was to create a whole separate page for those people because they didn't want them to be seen on their main page. And my issue with that is, why do you have to create a whole... There are two views to it. You can see it as, oh, you know, the company is going out of the way to create a whole page so these people can see all themselves. And there's the other view, of the company doesn't want that body type on their main page.
Okay.
Because look at that. If there's going to be... Why is it that only bigger girls need a page for themselves? You know, so wait, I see both ways. I see it as, okay, they have their own page, they can have their own thing. And then I see it as they don't want that body type on their main page messing up the look or the aesthetic of their page. That's what I see both ways.
Actually, okay, the way how I see it too, especially like with them having like a separate page for like curvier girls, I don't find anything wrong with it.
You see, at first,
like I don't have any. I never saw it from the lens of, okay, they probably don't want them on their main page. I was just thinking that, you know, they want to have a separate page where if I'm a curvy girl, I can literally just go to that page and just see all the outfits that they have.
My thing with that is, if you're a brand that truly cares, shouldn't you have that all on one page?
Yeah, but as in, no.
Why not?
Because I feel like, okay.
Why is it that? So say
because Fashion Nova Men has their own Instagram page too.
Gender and body size is two different things.
Well, that's also a very good point.
Because my thing is just like, say, and there's certain companies as well, when they sell stuff in bigger sizes, they change how the clothes look. So like, okay, say I have a crop top here, right? There's certain companies just a bigger size. It will be the same clothes, but it'll be a long top. They won't make you a crop top in a bigger size. So there are lots of companies that do that.
I've actually never seen that before. Like, I know
there's a lot of companies, and there are lots of mainstream companies. And my thing is, I found a lot of this out because, like, I'm the type of person, like, I pay attention to the companies that I spend my money with. Right? So a lot of people know that I don't shop at Fashion Nova anymore. A lot of reasons, right? So when you start to paying attention to where these companies work and pay attention, and there's a lot of influencers who don't work with Fashion Nova. And Fashion Nova spends a lot of money to make themselves look good. I'm not bashing Fashion Nova. I don't think there's anything wrong with Fashion Nova. I personally just don't shop there. Right? When you pay attention to where certain companies run their stuff, you have to realize how much they put in to make themselves look like a good company.
Yeah. It has a lot to do with PR. Like, you naturally want people to literally think that your brand is, you know.
Yeah, because Fashion Nova shows out a lot of money to these celebrities, so they can't say no. And because if you look at it, when Cardi B collabed with Fashion Nova, that sold out instantly. Just collabed with
that sold out immediately.
So I will say Fashion Nova does a great job at catering to a lot of body sizes. But just because you do one thing, that doesn't excuse everything else that you do.
I understand that.
Yeah.
And I mean, even though I said that, you know, as in I don't really see anything wrong with them having a separate page, I also feel like if I'm not in the situation, I shouldn't comment on it.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like me comment, because, okay, as in, naturally on Fashion Nova, like, I'm not going to go into the curvy section of Fashion Nova because, I mean, I'm a medium. So, like, even though I'm a medium, I'm obviously not going to have a need to go over to the curvy side of the page. All I think, okay, my whole thing is I see the fact that they have a curvy page, and, you know, sometimes when you look into Fashion Nova, you see them have the curvy models, and I'm just like, you know, what I really like with them is the fact that they literally, like, anything that the skinny girls have, they will literally make it for curvy girls. That's what I like about it. But, like, the intimate details of as to them having a separate page, yada yada yada, in my view, I literally have no problem with it. But at the end of the day, I don't think I'm qualified enough to comment on it, like fully give an elaborate commentary on it, because I'm not in that situation, so I don't know what it's like.
You know, like I always say, like when there are lots of pages that actually do that, right? Originally, and even still now, like I had the same points of view as you, that I didn't see much detail about it. But one day I was on YouTube and I found this girl's video, and she sat down and she talked for a hot minute about it. And when you actually listen to her points and her points of view, it made sense. And then you understand where they're coming from, that they're always singled out. They always have to be picked out. They can never be grouped. They're always separate and afar. As it's some, you know, like when, you know, like it's just like they can't ever. It's like instead of all body, we're a clothing company. Hair's our clothes. It's like hair's our company, but if you're that size,
then
your department, like your department's over there. That's how she kind of explained it. And when you see it from that point of view, she has a point. If you're a clothing company and you sell clothes, you sell your clothes. You don't need to separate, because what those companies are doing now is separating you based on your body size.
Yeah.
You know, because even if you have, for example, like, and I mean not say that because I don't know for sure. Because it's just like if you, it's okay. I think it's okay. Like if you go on your website and okay, this is for the this is your plus size area, right? That's fine. because that's your website, so they can go, okay. Just like when you put
instead of you having to sift.
That's exactly the same thing of when you put medium, small, large, or whatever, right? But creating a whole different page just because you're a certain body type, it's just like, why do you need to do that? Because at the end of the day, you're contributing to the wealth of your business. You're spending money on this business. You don't need to be singled out and separated. Because that's just saying, oh, if you wear small or medium, this is your page. If you wear medium or large, that's your page. Like, it doesn't need to be, like, if you're selling someone clothes, everyone can be represented. Like, Instagram doesn't limit the amount of times you can post. If you're selling clothes to people, you're selling clothes to people.
Yeah.
And one time somebody gave the excuse of, oh, well, not everything they make in plus size, they would make in small, medium, and large. And I'm just like, okay, and
that's understand. That's.
It's just like, okay, and they'll figure that out when they go on the website.
Exactly.
For me, after watching that girl's video, that's what I'm talking about. As you grow and like you expand and like you educate yourself, you see certain stuff.
Yeah.
Because if I didn't watch that girl's video, I would have never seen that points of view and actually thought about where companies are coming from. And that's why I watched that other girl's video, and it's just like that company, the whole reason they created their curve page, and I'm not talking about Fashion Over, like this other company, the whole reason they created their curve page is because they didn't want that body type on their main page. So it's just like, you can spin it on PR and have the mindset that you do and that I still do. And that's not, and sometimes what you see on the surface is not the fact of the company.
It's very true. You have a good point there.
And a lot of companies recently, and a lot of companies have realized that they said that they accept body types, but to them, one body type is small and one bigger girl, or one curvier girl.
Exactly.
And my thing is, there's a whole gap in between those people. Because not everyone's super small, not everyone's super curvy. So that's just my opinion on it. And my opinion is correct. It is.
First of all, you know the definition of an opinion? But my opinion is correct.
It is correct. Well, we really didn't stay on topic, but I think we spoke about important.
Exactly. Like we touched on like, you know, all.
And like, if you guys have different opinions, feel free to like comment down below. Because I'm the type of person, especially when it comes to these topics, I'm always willing to like listen and educate yourself. That's the only reason. That's the only way that you learn. Because even one time I was talking to. She's not my friend. She's a former classmate. And
she's not my friend.
And like we're talking and like I use a word and she's just like, you can't use that word like that. I don't know what I said. I didn't see the big deal about it, but like I wasn't, the word I used was a word that I wasn't in that. It wasn't some, like, you know, like you said, it wasn't your place to use, it wasn't my place to use. Like, it wasn't me.
Okay.
But that was her. So I'm just like, if it's her and she feels offended, then, you know, I can't argue with that.
Yeah. So
I think life is all about, my thing with certain people nowadays, they don't know how to educate you without bashing you.
That is a,
like, you can
toxic Twitter, literally toxic Twitter. I say this like all the time on Twitter, where like I feel like that's exactly why people consider Twitter to be the most toxic app, because when you come on Twitter and you say something, right, and let's say it rubs someone the wrong way, their first instinct is just to bash. It's never just to say, okay, well, I don't think you should have said that because so and so, and educating the person. But at the end of the day, some people literally, when they're quote unquote educating you, they're literally bashing you, and I hate it. I genuinely hate it, because like you now have to keep your own opinions to yourself because of what other people can say. And it's freedom of speech too. We have to also get the fact that it's freedom of speech. So literally, if I say something and someone doesn't like it, they can literally comment on it and say, well, you know, whatever, and say what they want to say because of freedom of speech.
But in that same verse too, I feel like once you say something, you can't give constructive criticism anymore these days. If you say something that's not agreeing with the person saying, you're a hater. Or you're bashing.
Especially when it's one of your Twitter, when it's a Twitter faves.
Yeah, I feel like nowadays constructive criticism isn't a thing and people don't know how to take it. And me too, like sometimes I'm not great at taking constructive criticism, but I think a part of growing and learning is that you need constructive criticism to make yourself better. You know?
And we also have to educate ourselves. With the way how society is changing right now, like literally, society, like literally how the world was 10 years ago. That's literally not what it's like right now. So as you grow up, new things occur within society that you have to take up yourself and educate your own self about it, so you just don't offend anybody.
Yeah, definitely. I think life itself is a lesson, and you just have to keep learning. Sometimes you're going to be in the wrong. Sometimes you're going to be on educating. You just have to take it in strides and move on.
Yeah.
So
this is the end of Anyah Uncensored. I want to thank you guys so much for listening. I want to thank Christina for coming back onto the podcast.
I know that I'm your favorite, guys.
First, this is the first time I even see you officially.
Oh, same friends.
Anyways, don't forget to follow the podcast page on IG at Anyah Anyah.uncensored, and follow me on Twitter at Anyah Uncensored. Just look for the word Anyah Uncensored. I don't know if you have a hyphen or something in between. I really don't know. But yeah, make sure you go check me out on Twitter. I'm trying to be bossy like just the kids.
Anyways, guys, thanks for having me. It was a great discussion, and make sure to leave your comments down below.
Should I end it like say I fear a podcast? But huh? Nothing. So you get to choose the song of the episode for this week.
So the song of the week, I think it should be Body by Meg Thee Stallion. Because we talked about body positivity.
Okay, yeah, alright, fine. That's fitting. So this week's song of the episode is Body by Meg Thee Stallion. So until next time, bye guys.